Activision Blizzard are still planning to release Overwatch 2 later this year. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot it was gonna be a thing with all the, craziness. Okay, let's just say it, amidst all the reports of workplace toxicity and the abuse that led to a massive lawsuit that you'd have to have been hiding under a rock to have missed. Though I can't say I blame you if you are hiding under a rock. It's nice under rocks. Sometimes there are little sweets with legs.
Those are bugs.
Ah, yuck. Anyway, you might be asking, what does this have to do with today's game? Well, Paladins and Overwatch have quite a lot in common, and let's face it, Paladins basically copied Overwatch's homework and just changed the setting from sci-fi to fantasy, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you like this video and want to support the channel, there are a few ways you can do that. First of all, you can give this video a like, maybe leave a comment and subscribe for future content. To support the channel directly, go to my Patreon page and pledge £1 a month. This will get you 24 hours early access to new review videos, shoutouts at the end of videos, and you'll even get to suggest games for me to cover. Or if you'd like something more tangible back for your support, then head over to my T-Bill shop. The links to both my T-Bill shop and my Patreon page are in the description of this video, so be sure to check them out. Paladins is a first-person, free-to-play hero shooter which sees 2 teams of 5 players engaging in battles against one another to complete simple objectives. A player will choose from the vast roster of available characters, each character having a unique set of skills and traits not dissimilar to a class system. Then they must work with their team to complete a match's objectives. The game is online only and without a single player or campaign mode, which is usually a turn-off for me as I'm such a story addict that the local librarian banned me from the library because I was trying to snort books.
No single player or story mode, team-based online matches, a selection of weird and wacky characters, each with unique skills. Wow, this could not more obviously be Overwatch. Did they seriously just exchange a sci-fi setting for a fantasy setting and call it a day?
Why work hard when you can work smart? After all, with Overwatch you have to pay like £40 or something to access it, whereas Paladins offer the same things for free.
I don't know, just feels a bit shameless. The industry is plagued with knockoff pieces of shit after all.
This is very true. Oversaturation is a big problem in the games industry. If a thing is popular, as we all know, the imitators will want to snag themselves some of that pie. But often we don't see these imitators hold out for very long. After all, the popular thing is popular for a reason. And it isn't uncommon to see imitators try to rip something off without grasping the subtleties of what made the thing good in the first place. Either that or the popular thing did what it was trying to do so well that trying to knock it off would be downright suicidal. We saw this with the MMORPGs, we saw this with the modern military shooters, we even saw it with the Souls-likes. Each have their success stories, but said stories typically stand upon the bodies of those who tried and failed, often miserably. The same thing happened when Overwatch became a thing. Though you could hardly call it the first of its kind, after all Team Fortress 2 had existed long before and basically did the same thing, arguably better, though it's been years since I so much as clapped eyes on the thing so I can't really judge. Paladins strikes me as a success story of the hero shooter genre. It is very similar to Overwatch to the point where you might look at it and say, that's just a blatant knockoff, it can't be any good, but I think it's more than just a clone. Real effort has gone into making the game its own, for lack of a better word, thing. On the surface it looks like they just took Overwatch and changed a sci-fi setting to a fantasy setting and then maybe tweaked 1 or 2 characters and called it a day. But there is a lot more to it than that. In Paladins, for example, between matches the player can customise their champions.
Bitch, Overwatch let you do that.
No, Overwatch let you apply a skin and some emotes and some sprays, nothing that actually impacted the way you played the game. You still can do that in Paladins, change the outfits of your champions and the little emotes and the sprays if you so please, but you can also create a custom loadout for them. Loadouts being these sets of traits that a player has combined in order to make a champion work better for them without completely messing with the style of the character they're playing. Little things like recovering health from using a certain ability or reducing how long an ability has to remain on cooldown before you can use it again can make all the difference, so I do advise that you make a custom loadout for your preferred champions when you play the game. Or you can just use one of the default loadouts if you really want to. The matches play a bit differently from Overwatch as well. First off, no character switching. Once you pick a champion, you have to play them for the whole match, though to me this instills the desire to choose the character wisely and really get to grips with them. When the match starts, you can also choose an extra trait, which typically affects an ability of yours, then you saddle up on your mount and quickly ride to the objective. In fact, each time you die, when you spawn back at your, spawn points, that's what a spawn point's for, you'll automatically be riding your mount and be able to get back to the action faster. As you play the matches, you acquire match points which you can spend on temporary traits, such as one that lets you recover health from eliminations, or one that affects your reload speeds. All minor changes, but not to be overlooked. If you do not want to worry about them though, fair enough, the game can auto-purchase for you so you can focus on the fun shooty death times.
Okay, so this all looks rather nice. It's fast paced, colourful, and free from shitty cover mechanics. It's not too shabby, this one.
Yes, I love that my beautiful hardware is being used to run a game that came out in 2016. Feeling a bit overqualified here.
Just be happy that they're using you at all, eh? You don't let them choose custom home screens or have a proper, easily accessible web browser, whereas your older sister did.
So you're saying I'd be better if I had the ability to access porn sites?
I mean, what wouldn't that improve?
You bitches done, or do I need to throw you both out the window again? Threats of defenestration aside, the game is quite fun. The matches can take a while, though in my experience they rarely went longer than 15 minutes, which I think is the perfect length. Long enough to get invested and have some fun, short enough that it doesn't outstay its welcome. Each champion plays very differently, which encourages player experimentation. You might look at, say, Fernando and think, "Aw, hell yes, I'm gonna rock the big dude with the shield and the flamethrower." Then after a while discover that Maeve actually better suits your desire to run around and take out foes. Both of those are characters I really enjoy playing, by the way. Also, they're sexy stroke cute, respectively. Anyway, moving on. There are 4 match types.
Onslaught, where both teams compete to secure a single objective. The first to the highest score wins.
Deathmatch, where both teams compete to murder each other, and the team with the highest murders wins.
Siege, where 2 teams of players compete to secure a payload, then move it to the enemy spawn point. First to 4 points wins.
Siege again, but this time with a destructible payload and extra points to capture for bonus score.
There is also an occasional mode, where Siege has experimental features the devs are toying with.
Oh yeah, there's that too. There used to be a couple more if I'm remembering correctly. I played this game back when it was first in beta, and for a while I saw it messing around with a couple of other game modes here and there, but these 4 seemed like the 4 that were the most popular, so I can't say I blame them for keeping these ones, and besides, they're perfectly fun. Obviously fun is subjective, but I am the goddess of video games, and my word is law.
Shit like this is why people think you're crazy.
Hey, don't use facts as insults. But in all seriousness, Paladins is a really fun game and a perfect alternative to Overwatch if, like me, you're disgusted by the Activision Blizzard situation and would rather not touch their work but still need your hero shooter fix. The game does have a few minor bugs. The most notable I noticed was the countdown timer occasionally lagging and these heroes at the beginning of the game kind of clipped into the floor there, but that's about the worst I saw. Really, there isn't anything to complain about.
What about all the microtransactions and other free-to-play bullshit?
I mean, microtransactions is the wrong word for some of these. Fucking look at those prices, but Paladins is a free-to-play game, so I can't really fault it.
What about game balance though? Are any champions broken or unfair picks?
Not really. It seems like skill is the ultimate decider of things in Paladins, and I thought the same of Overwatch for ages, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a very good judge of balance. People are always complaining that Character X is unbalanced, and I just think, wait, maybe they're just doing the job that they were designed to do well, and maybe you're just bad at the game? Not that I can talk in that area. I suck at PvP. I die a lot in Paladins, so who am I to really judge whether it was a lack of skill that got me killed, or if it was the champion being truly broken? It's hard for someone like me to judge that sort of thing, is my point. I never thought, say, Roadhog from Overwatch was a broken character, no matter how many times that bastard snuck up on me and hookshot me to death. I remember a lot of people complaining about him, that's why I'm using him as an example. I'll just say that I think the game is perfectly balanced at the moment. In general, I think it's a fine game, the setup is good, the addition of there being a level of careful preparation before the matches is a nice touch, and it makes me like playing a certain hero more. Hero? I meant champion. Fuck it, use that take. I like the designs of a lot of these characters. You've got this little goblin dude and his mech and his machine guns, those are quite cool. Obviously, you've got Maeve and her little daggers and the fact that she can double jump. You've got Evie, this magical ice witch person who I made look like a punk rocker because I think it's cool. A machine gun wielding huntress. You've got the random soldier dude who's not actually that interesting, and for some reason they've changed his rifle from full auto to semi-auto, which is, it took an adjustment, but it was fine. You've got this big old bomb king dude, he's quite amusing. Lot of characters there for you to pick from. It's quite a good roster. You won't have access to them all at once, you have to use in-game currency to purchase them, but you don't have to buy the in-game currency with money, you can earn it through leveling up and playing matches, so it's all well and good. The fantasy setting is quite cool, and I like the game's art style. It more than makes up for the fact that the game isn't the most graphically impressive, which again, I don't think it matters too much. I think art style is much more important than graphical quality. At the end of the day, I've had quite a lot of fun playing Paladins. It is a really good game to just pick up and play for an hour in the evening, and it means I indeed get my hero shooter fix without having to touch anything with the stinky slime of Activision Blizzard covering it. I say give the game a go. It's free to play on pretty much all of the current generation platforms and even supports crossplay, which is nice. I hear some people complaining about PC cheaters here and there, but I can't really blame the game for that. It's not the game's fault if someone decides to be a dickhead. It's a good game, definitely worth checking out. Perhaps we will see each other on the field of battle, either as foes or better yet as comrades. If so, you bitches better not pick Ying, she's my favourite. Healy girl with the illusions, she's cool.
Well, why work hard when you could smart... Oh, fuck me.
Each champion plays so drastically differently, which each are...
And the fucking wank.